Hi, I'm Mary Drummond, and I host the Voices of CX podcast, where I talk to CX practitioners, thought leaders, and academics from various industries. Sometimes guests give us topics that deserve a bit more explanation. In CX in Context, we put those ideas in a practical business context so you can see why they matter and how to make them work for you. This is CX in Context. Hello, and welcome to CX in Context, our new show here on YouTube. We created this show because I feel there was a little bit more to talk about than what we get to share in an interview with a guest. Now, you may not know this, but before every podcast, I do a pre-call with my guest, and that way we can be on the same page and I can get a feeling about what they want to discuss and what they're excited to share. However, the pre-calls can sometimes last over an hour, and there's no way I can share everything that we've discussed in one episode alone, let alone have the time to share my full opinion on the topic and how it plays into the role in CX. So that's why the team here at Voices of CX decided to create CX in Context. This web series will allow me to not only dive deeper into topics that were discussed in our interviews, but also link them to why and what it means to the industry. Through the various guests that I've interviewed over the years, I've had the privilege to tap into so many minds and hear such a wide array of what's going on in the market. And being able to take the time to share the things that I've learned through these conversations is something that I'm really excited about. Now, for this 100th episode, we wanted to switch things up a little bit. As I've mentioned, I've interviewed many people over the years, but I haven't really been in the hot seat myself. So to usher in this new web series and to kick off season 9 and our 100th episode, I reached out to some of my dear friends in the industry to have them send questions to me. The full interview has already been posted on Voices of CX podcast, but here's a little sneak peek of what you can expect to hear on the episode.
So maybe there's a CX professional in your life that is just feeling a little stuck, maybe a little bit burned out, and is not sure how to get to the next level in their CX career. What would you suggest to this person who is feeling like they're a little bit stuck right now? Is there a resource, a training, a thing they should do, about people they should interface with to really get themselves to the next level? Can't wait to hear. Thanks so much, Mary.
Awesome. What a great question from Nate. I think that the one thing that I would recommend is to reach out to other professionals in the industry. The one thing I can say beyond a shadow of a doubt is that the CX industry is one of the most collaborative, empathetic, helpful, kind industries. And every single time I have reached out to somebody in the industry, whether to collaborate or to help me out or something, or even partner for a new project, I've been met with enthusiasm, excitement, and I think that that is one of the best ways to get out of a rut.
What are some of the best examples you've seen of organizations using their onboarding process to drive engagement and expansion of the relationship to ultimately result in maximizing customer lifetime value?
So, wow, Robbie, that is quite the question. And I think that there's room for two interpretations. One for how onboarding employees could contribute to overall lifetime value, and to how onboarding clients in a B2B scenario perhaps could contribute. So I'm going to try to answer both. I've had the pleasure of speaking to Alec Dalton, who formerly worked at the Marriott Group, and also have watched a masterclass given by the head trainer or master trainer of the Ritz-Carlton Group. And I strongly believe that the onboarding of their ladies and gentlemen, which is how they refer to the employees and the individuals who work for the Ritz-Carlton Group, is absolutely a game changer in the way they provide experiences for their customers. Because not only does the training provide individuals with all sorts of insight and empathy, it goes so far as to empower the individuals to go in and act on behalf of the customer.
If you were queen of the world and could make any customer experience practice illegal by penalty of beheading, what would it be?
Well, James, look at you looking to get me all riled up on this episode. I gotta say that the one thing that could warrant some beheading would be bad surveys. Bad surveys are perhaps my biggest pet peeve. And I'm going to repeat myself for the millionth time because I know that I say this all the time. I say this on every webinar. I say it at least once a season. But when we knock on a customer's door or on their inbox and we request their feedback, we're not just asking them for feedback. We're asking them to take time out of their day, their busy day and their busy lives to help us with our problem. So when customers do decide to reply and to answer a survey, they're giving us a gift that's extremely valuable. Reaching 100 episodes is a big deal for any podcaster out there, but I think for me, it's really special due to our humble origins and the way that we started. We started off with nothing. It was a crazy idea that the team had that we decided to implement, and it worked. And I mean, for those of you out there who are into growth hacking and kind of ways to get around not having to spend a lot of money, you know how exciting it is when a marketing experiment actually works. And to see how much we've grown, to go onto the analytics and see that there are over 70 countries that listen to this podcast every single day, to hear that people are excited to come onto the podcast, to know that nowadays, instead of reaching out to individuals to invite them onto the podcast, we're selecting through applications of people who want to be guests. This is really fulfilling, I think, for the whole team. And it's also encouraging to know that all of our hard work has truly added value to people's lives. It's interesting because over the course of these years, I've had people reach out to me and say, hey, what you said on such and such episode, or that guest that you brought on was absolutely game changing for me, or it excited me, to drop what I was doing and get into the CX industry, or it inspired me to write a book, or it inspired me to start my own podcast. That's something that I get a lot of. I think there have been 5 or 6 individuals who have told me that I inspired them to start their own podcast. And that's so exciting to me. I wanted to thank my whole network of fellow marketers, CX professionals, authors, speakers. You guys are all amazing. And without you, I wouldn't have any content to make in the first place. So this is great. An extra special shout out to those who have gone above and beyond to not only partake and share, but to connect me with others and help me amplify my message. So some of those individuals are Dan Gingus, Annette Franz, Nate Brown, James Dodkins, Dennis Wakabayashi, Shep Hyken, and so many others. But a special thank you to these people who have truly, truly helped me feel like a part of the CX community. So we're so excited to launch our new season. And once again, thank you to all of you who helped us reach 100 episodes here at the Voices of CX podcast. Voices of CX is brought to you by Worthix, the only VOC platform that uses AI on the front end to augment your VOC. I'm Mary Drummond. CX in Context is hosted by me, co-produced and edited by Steve Barry and Ashley Alufahai. Be sure to check out the full episode linked in the description. See you on the next episode.